Day 2 of the Egypt edition with the League of Legends competition. I'm Matt Spellruler, Tosiek, co-casting with me is still Fayan, Gevous, Pertijs, and we're going to bring you quite an exciting match, LowLandLions Ice versus SectorOne.
And SectorOne Clover this one is
Clover.
because a lot of organizations have been coming with quite some sister teams, or at least like sub teams, kind of, where they all have like separate names. This one is the Clover one.
Scrim teams, experimentation teams.
Not sure if they're also actually scrim teams, but definitely teams
Guinea pigs.
Wait, what?
Guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs. So we call them guinea pig teams now.
Yeah.
Guinea pig teams. Okay. Anyway. This is indeed quite an exciting match because we have like Excelsior's players in this match where we see like Lenny, Rio, Fela, and I think it will be quite a promising game. Like it's definitely a game to watch.
Yeah, I would like give the small advantage though to like the LowLandLions because I mean they're kind of like the fan favorite as it goes. In pretty much all these events, like it's usually like the big three, like LowLandLions, AC Visualize, and AT Gaming every now and then. Like AT Gaming sometimes gets swapped out for another one, but it's usually those two organizations that like, you know, have to face the big three. And well, we have one of the big three right now. So like SectorOne, they have their teams here and there, and they scrape their wins here and there as well. But we're gonna have to wait and see how that one turns out. Surprisingly, a Zach ban coming in. I did not expect that, to be quite honest.
It's quite an inconvenient ban. At least like Zach is one of those champions that can engage from very long range and that can catch her off guard, and also might be just like a flat out target ban from Lions. Also something to consider that Kindred, Shen, and Jin are all three banned from this tournament, so that's why we don't see any bans coming out on these champions, nor do we see them picked. And what these bans at least allowed is for the Graves to be open. Graves can still be flexed to the lane. Jungle, I would expect it will go to the jungle overall because top lane is quite a niche pick. Only in certain matchups you would use it as a counter, but we'll see how the drafting will go.
Yeah, but that does leave Tom Kench and Corki open, but that also leaves Poppy open for LowLandLions to take.
Yeah, there's still that flex possible too. Kindred being hovered is not allowed to be picked like we said before, but indeed Tom Kench, Corki being open, strong mid game. At least they've got like a good scaling front line within the Tom Kench, but Corki can also still go mid lane or the bottom lane. We both agreed on the fact that we do prefer mid lane overall, just because of that engage you can have with the package overall.
Yeah. In
like your roaming power, and as well we see the Ezreal now going to the other side because you don't really want to give away both Ezreal and Corki.
Yeah, not much to say about that one. LLL, they have like good poke, they have like good damage coming in as well. Like I would like to see some magic damage to like round out the comp a little bit more. So I think it is still going to be Ezreal in the bot lane. I could see like maybe Elise in the jungle, or something like a Lissandra that can like really lock up the Corki, or something to counter the Lux would be fairly good as well. Like Lux, you are a very big fan of Lux, if I recall correctly. I've heard you passionately defend her yesterday.
It was not about me having a passion for Lux or whatever, but indeed it was a discussion, a pretty hefty discussion about Lux, but we keep that as an inside joke. Lee Sin on top of that being picked up, so a lot of pink potential already within the Lux and the Lee Sin. Of course, Lux can provide quite some utility from a very long range, can root people in place, will guarantee the Sonic Wave for the Lee Sin, can maybe even kick back and see if then the Gnome comes out as well from Tom Kench to see if they can indeed just pretty much blow him up. Will be a little bit hard though with like two strong front lines already within the Graves and the Alistair. A little bit harder to peel off, or at least go for these picks against these type of targets. Shen is also disabled, so we cannot go for that pick. I would indeed assume it's Ezreal AD carry overall, because I would expect like a wave clearer, or maybe even a pick. Would it be a pick champion like LeBlanc? Normally you would really kind of go for like a wave clearing champion, so he can guarantee the wave clear against the Lux from long range as well. Victor would be good overall in that. LeBlanc is still a fine matchup, but you might like a little bit of that wave clear. So yeah, they do pick up the Lissandra on top of that, so maybe Lissandra can provide the wave clear for them.
Yeah, I think that is going to be Lissandra top though, so I'm not too sure how that matchup goes, Lissandra versus Tom Kench, if we assume that Tom Kench is going to go top, but with Darius being hovered over, it might be the Dunk Master in top. And
doubt it against Lissandra though.
Yeah, like, or like Poppy picked on the last rotation. Like I was like about to say,
it's quite unusual when it comes to at least the Western scene. Like Poppy being falling late into rotation. Normally in like the Eastern scene we see it fall quite late, or at least in the Korean scene we see it fall quite late. LPL is really fond of that pick too, but it is indeed quite unusual for Poppy to get like this late through.
Yeah, but what I mean, they did manage to secure it, so it is. I don't know. It could be Poppy top Tahm Kench support, or the other way around. I have seen Poppy go into the support lane every now and again because she does have that good harass with that buckler coming in, like the or like the quote unquote lifesteal coming in from that master from the Keystone Mastery, and she's just like so tanky. But probably as expected is going to be Tahm Kench support. Now I'm not too fond of Tahm Kench Corki as a lane together. They're individual very strong champions, but I just don't see the synergy working out between them. Like the same with Ezreal and Alistar.
Yeah, like they don't really have any upfront synergy, that is, but Tahm Kench overall is fine into an Alistar because you can always use a Devour in order to eat your AD carry, and just in case the Headbutt Pulverize comes out from Alistar, so you already negate some of that engage that can have in the bot lane and just basically back out from it as soon as the Headbutt comes out and before the Pulverize lands, of course, because otherwise you'll get CC'd yourself, cannot Devour, but need that run away, then play on those cooldowns, see if you can re-engage and see if you can win a trade that way. So in that sense is where the Tahm Kench pick makes sense into the Alistar, but indeed you don't really have a protected carry comp either, where Tahm Kench used to be really good in, and Tahm Kench, it seems more of like a niche pick being picked up now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so used to seeing Tahm Kench in the top lane, like going Sunfire Cape and then Dead Man's Plate and just like pretty much wrecking everyone's day because all I need to do is build health and I do damage. That's amazing.
You do natural damage, and indeed once you hit like the 2 items or 3 item powers, like it gets like really hard to kill. But I don't think they want the Tahm Kench into Lissandra either, because Lissandra can just completely wreck a Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench really struggles in those ranged matchups, cannot sustain as well in those matchups, nor does he have any type of poke, or at least reliable poke himself in that lane matchup when it comes to ranged. But if I also see like the 2-for-1 potential it would then have Lissandra and Graves for Tahm Kench, it's going to be really rough, where Poppy at least has some form of fallback still, where you have the cancel on the dashes, or like the block on the dashes kind of, and you still get like a movement speed buff. You are at least a little bit more reliant, and also on level 6 you can disengage. So in that sense, the Poppy, I do like the Poppy pick in the top lane.
Well, Poppy's just like all around pretty amazing.
Pretty all around, indeed. Also scales relatively well with levels and items.
Yeah.
Can never go wrong with the Poppy.
She does not have great AP ratios, does she?
No, she doesn't.
Okay, I was like,
she's pretty much full physical damage now.
Oh, okay. So they changed.
After rework, everything's
I remember
damage.
the days of AP Poppy, Deathfire Grasp, like press R, press Deathfire Grasp, and then EQ, and then you're pretty much dead.
And on top of that, you'd go Lichbane. Yes.
Why not?
Why not? Get a Q procs going.
Like Lichbane's Luden's Echo, Rabadon's Deathcap Poppy.
That is a newer version, though. It's a newer version of the Poppy. At least from old Poppy, that is. Now she's reworked.
Yeah.
I kind of miss the old Poppy, though. Like, indeed, where you go for these ballsy builds into AP.
I like new Poppy, though. She looks so cute.
Yeah. I definitely like the new Poppy.
Her face is so fuzzy, and she has like the pigtails. It's so cute. It's cute.
Do I need to give you a moment here? Or?
Yeah, sure. It's just cute. Okay, my co-caster ditch out on.
No, okay, I'm fine. I think you had your moment now. But the LeBlanc matchup, it's kind of harsh for LeBlanc as well to pick it into Tahm Kench, since you do have to Devour again, where you can still swallow someone and you negate all the damage that the LeBlanc will put out on that target. At least if you are in time, because if the 2 sigil pucks come out anyway, then it's too late nonetheless. But overall, I do like the picks into LowLandLions, but overall the composition overall for for SectorOne, they don't merge that well together. No. You got these catted picks a little bit with like the Lee Sin and the Lux, with the Tahm Kench Corki, like you said, doesn't have as much synergy in that bot lane.
I mean the Lee Sin pick in general just feels really off. If you compare it to what their laners are, Like the Lee Sin seems like, oh, I just want Lee Sin as a flex pick because he's okay everywhere, I guess. But that's kind of like a trait of weak team building. I feel like, because if you pick like something that if you pick a champion that's all round in something, then you don't really have a plan for the entire team. You know?
Indeed, I do agree on that. I definitely agree on that. And when it comes to LowLandLions, it's at least a little bit more of a layered or like a team composition with a little bit more foundation, because you've got like clear pick in there with like the Lissandra ultimate, you've got the LeBlanc, you've got Azriel
Yeah.
to kite with, and then Alistair to have the extra engage. And on that knock up from Alistair, you can burst someone with Grace, where indeed SectorOne really has to go for these single picks with like the Poppy and the Lux and see if they can blow up that target, but I doubt if they will be able to, because they need to build up quite some time in order to have that amount of poke or burst damage in the first place.
It's just like the playbook for the LowLandLions, like how they want to play out team fights just works a lot better. So like if you want to like make a team fight like as a script, and it's like really obvious, like Alistar or Lissandra they start out. Whoever did not start out will follow up. Ezreal, LeBlanc, and Grace just mash their heads on the keyboard and they win.
Yeah.
That's like basically how their team fight is supposed to go. But the team fight for SectorOne, it doesn't look as organized. Like it all kind of starts with a Lux binding, but then it's just like, oh, Lee Sin
like,
Q,
well,
and then Poppy dashes in, and Corki does some damage, and then what?
And then indeed in the first place, like questioning, like, okay, can I actually follow up this Lux binding? Because if you look at the front line from LowLandLions as well, where you have the Graves and Lissandra threats, and then Alistair can always like flank behind you, go for the knock up, and kick and knock someone back. It's just really risky to go. It's overall really risky to go for such a pick just on a pure binding. So it's SectorOne having to play the early game really, really well, get that early lead, and maybe they can snowball that into a Lux lead, see if she can have like a little bit more roaming power with like cross-map snipes, or maybe even the Poppy roams with a teleport.
Just the team fight for LowLandLions like looks a bit better, and they don't have to be as coordinated since everything just goes like right one after another, which is what I like about their team comp. Looks like there is going to be a small invade, usually the Tribrush in the top lane, the first one to be warded, but they are out and about exploring their heart out, trying to find a pick somewhere. They are going to see Mech Reflex passing over that ward though, and if Mech Reflex actually stays around for too long, they might be able to pick a kill onto that one, slowly flanking around. They are probably quite sure where Mech Reflex is right now, and not in a great spot right now. Mech Reflex might have to flash or even recall or maybe even commit suicide to get out of that one. Mech Reflex does find the entire team of LowLandLions. We will teleport is being used. It is gonna be enough. A little bit unfortunate that the teleport was used towards like the outer tower. Like maybe it would be a little bit better if you moved away towards that inner tower, teleport towards that, because you could walk back to the fountain and then walk back, and you would save a little bit more time, I feel. And wasting a teleport for Mech Reflex. Okay, LowLandLions didn't get a kill from that one, but they just got so much farm. Lissandra got the level 2 advantage. They got a little bit more pressure on it, and most importantly, Sigma can actually focus more on the mid lane and bot lane now, because he knows that top lane is going to have an inherent advantage now.
Yeah, and also with Poppy, she scales mainly off of levels, like the first few minutes, and then if you already filter out that win condition of is like basically getting levels, then it's going to be really, really hard for her to actually gain that lead back.
Definitely Yosin and Knight trading some blows here, and their Knight getting the slightly better from that one. Heiza doing what he can to harass Wheel Fingers and Kitty. Wheel Fingers did not take his Triumphant Roar just yet, so no dedicated healing coming out of him aside from the Relic Shield heal. Also, one thing that people seem to forget, it's really easy to deny last hits with Alistar, with that Triumphant Roar. I mean, good Alistars, like, they will wait until until the minions are at maybe like 80 health or something like that, or maybe even 50 if you really do pay attention, and then roar as the auto attack comes out. So that's actually a really good form of creep denial.
Especially annoying when you're trying to last it on the turrets, where you need good Alistairs would like give that like last second heal. Oh,
in the
but
mid lane,
no heal for mid lane.
Raika getting the chain off onto him. Actually dashes towards the real LeBlanc. First blood for Sigma though. Sigma will survive barely. No, will actually die. Stephanie Yost picking up that kill as well. So that is a 2-for-1 in favor of LowLandLions, with Graze picking up those 2 kills for himself.
Great counter gank from Sigma coming out, and it is actually decent being crippled pretty hard here. He tried to go for that level 2 gank earlier when he was visiting the mid lane, but that means his blue buff is still up, and Sigma all this time was just like going for the straight farm, got the double buff, and is actually managing to also steal the blue buff right now. So this is Lee Sin being crippled really hard.
Yeah, and Lee Sin usually is the one who does the crippling / Tempest.
Yes.
So blue buff is being taken away. That was passed over towards Sigma, who has now a refreshed blue buff. I keep forgetting that blue buff actually gives ability power now.
It does only give a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. Just I do indeed see that 8 ability power. Actually, not quite sure if it also scales later on.
Yes,
but
extra damage on your smoke screen.
Oh yes, indeed. Smokescreen does indeed still scale off of the Matic damage, so a little bit of extra damage on the complete combo of Graves. But I'm wondering what Sigma is going to do now with his lead. He got 2 kills, which is huge for Graves. He will basically be snowballing the hell out of this game. His pace has already been catching up.
He did find Raika though. Red buff is going to be taking the Sonic Wave bait. Is going to be used here. Raika getting locked up. Red buff, will it be enough? Seems like Sigma cannot get that kill. Red buff not being sufficient enough. Heiza forced the arcane Kitty forced the arcane shift away, excuse me, but Heiza now in a lot of trouble. Pops the thick skin fairly early, though after the ignite was used and the devour to get Corki out of there. Gray's almost finding Raika over there.
Didn't go for the blind end of the line in the rush, so does not find that kill. But this is the nice LeBlanc and Graves synergy, which we haven't really covered in the drafting. Like Graves is always really potent with these chains, like now.
Oh, Graves.
Securing that second shot off the end of the line, it deals a lot of damage, and also with like such a huge burst champion like LeBlanc, this is like the perfect example of what that LeBlanc Graves can do in the mid lane.
They've been working really well together. They just have to be careful that we don't have that, LLL don't fall in that same trap as the previous game where the Lee Sin was like grossly overfed, and that the team like overestimates their lead over their respective lane opponents. I mean, he has been giving assists here and there, but like the majority of kills are still on Graves.
It's not particularly bad to have kills on Graves, because he skills really hard, and he can also indeed deny so much from the Lee Sin, where Lee Sin will fall off anyway. Already see a little bit of that counter juggling going on. Doubt if they will go for that dive. I do see a ping coming out. If it's near a wall or turret, they can blow him up.
They are going for it. The mech reflex frozen, but the last auto attack from Lenny will pick it up without any issues. Poor Poppy sleeping at her turret. Sonic Wave lands from Raika, but Raika must feel so helpless at this point right now, not being able to help. Nice flash pulp coming in from We Will Failers. We Will Failers might actually fall. No, actually gets dangerous game proc there, if I am not mistaken.
I think it was only the heal. Normally you don't really go for the dangerous game on a support. He might have it though, just for ballsy reasons. But indeed, like the heal from Alistair might sometimes just be enough to in order to survive.
I didn't see him roar. I did see him get like a big chunk of health all of a sudden when Yosta
might
died.
have been a level up. I actually not caught it. I can maybe look that up on the second PC. Because I do indeed see a roar coming out, triumphant roar from the heal. And it was indeed a level up. The level up and the roar at the end.
Okay, I see. I didn't see the level up, unfortunately. But 5-1 right here. LowLandLions are looking to get this game done pretty quickly, actually. Not too surprised. I think they're mostly waiting for Kitty to get his Frozen Fist or his Miramana, or like Kitty might even go straight up Triforce because he hasn't backed yet. And usually, if you do go tier first, you kind of want that early back in so you can start stacking it pretty fast. I mean, Ezreal of tier is kind of like a losing lane in the sense that
Quote unquote, yeah, quote unquote losing
Yeah.
lane. Yeah.
because you miss out on those extra stats. Mech Reflex being harassed by Sigma, it doesn't even apparently seem to care. Does go for it now though, steals some health away from Sigma, but Sigma with the collateral damage picks that up nice and easy.
And this is what Graves does. Like, Graves with a lead, 3 kills, now 4 kills, even went for the Skirmisher Saber. He says, I don't really care about warding at the moment, I just want to kill people. I just want to counter jungle, so give me that Skirmisher Saber, yes, thank you. And that's exactly what he's doing. And you can see in this composition, like, with so much CC, like LeBlanc here has with the one-shot.
No, Raiju will survive.
Not quite the one-shot yet.
No. It's kind of hard to do with a Forbidden Idol and a Fiendish Codex.
Double Dorans. It's getting close already.
Getting
close
closer.
already.
I have to say I do like that LeBlanc skin. Like the prestigious LeBlanc.
Yeah, it suits her. It suits her very well.
I think the only disappointing LeBlanc skin is the Mistletoe one.
Actually forgot what it looked like. I actually haven't
Oh,
seen
actually
it
no,
much.
the Cruella de Vil one. I don't like that one either.
You don't like the puppy? Like that's based on the puppy movie, right?
What?
It's based from a puppy movie, right? From
yeah,
what's
it's
the race called again?
101 Dalmatians.
Yes. That was the movie.
I don't know. I'm not too fond of Dalmatians. I love dogs, but I don't know. Lenny going on to Mech Reflex. Misses his Q though, but does fair enough damage with his auto attacks. Probably not going to dive until he has some jungle support coming in. Speaking of jungle, Sigma in a 1v1 versus Rika. Rika still taking a lot of damage despite dragon kicking Graves away. Mech Reflex and Lenny in a fight. Mech Reflex thinking that he can take this actually, and looks like he can. Lenny, does he have ultimate available? Yes, he does, but does he have the mana pool for it? He does not until now, and actually gets it on the last tick. His health regenerating, flashing away from that Q from Poppy, and does make it out barely from that fight.
Indeed, very, very close. And also look at a huge goal difference between the Poppy and the Lissandra. About 50 CS behind. That's not just a little bit, that's actually a huge difference. Also see that Frostgreen's claim coming out. And this is basically LowLandLions saying like, okay, we just want to get all the early items, just get the lead as soon as possible and then blow people up.
It wasn't as bad as the Poppy versus Riven matchup we saw yesterday.
That's true. 7 CS Riven, 5 minutes. That was not pleasant.
Like 10 minutes even.
Was it even 10 minutes? Wow.
Yeah, it was really rough. Stephanie Yosa getting locked up. Sigma going unstoppable, just easily picking it up with that kill. Rika forced to ward hop and flash away, but Sigma still on the chase. Sonic Wave does land, flashes away from the Tempest. Cripple and actually manages to survive that one just barely with the heal. Knight picking up the tower in the mid lane. And LowLandLions are just slowly but surely stomping their way towards victory.
Very, very clutch plays there. I can even feel my butt cheeks clutching there. It's like how low the Graves' health was. But indeed flashing away to get away from the last attack from the Lee Sin.
Being caught out. Will he be locked up? Double sigil proc. Not enough to pick up the kill, but the flash ignite should be enough. But the luck shield coming in, it is barely going to be enough to keep that Poppy alive. So just a sliver of HP. But hey, sliver of HP is still more than 0.
And that's what counts. That's what counts. You only die if that hits the 0. Also, it's still actually going to be the blue Ezreal, just in order to secure that late game as well, since a lot of players go for that early game build. Really close, a one-shot there. But now in the bottom lane, we see Alistair.
Raichu in a lot of trouble. Wombo comboed all the way. True Shot Barrage and the Buckshot, or excuse me, end of the line rather. Still with old Buckshot in my head.
Old Graves, never forget.
His Q does not really feel like like normal skill. Mech Reflex being knocked up. Sigma goes legendary, picks it up with the ultimate there. Raika now being the next casualty. Dragon kicks him away. Sigma's Hex Drinker is popped though and gets exhausted. Doesn't have any flash anymore. Acquired Taste might be enough. Noms him up, spits him out, gets the kill. Heiser now forced to pop his thick skin, but will he be able to get her out alive? Get some slivers of gold from the minions dying nearby, but still a 4-for-1 in favor of LowLandLions.
And sadly, that kill went to Heiser on the Tomcat. Jesse will still be useful for him because he can get tanky, but when you play him support, you're just playing pure for the utility. You will just want to have that Devour in order to swallow people so they don't take damage. And so far, they've not been succeeding because they barely hit the mid game. Like, it's only 30 minutes into the game. They already took 3 turrets. Dragon not even being contested yet. We just basically see a full ham game in the enemy jungle. We just go in, kill people, do some stuff.
I think this is going to be one of those games where it's still going to take a couple of minutes to get to the inhibitor, because the base is like really hard to crack in those early minutes of the game, because the towers are a lot more tankier and it's a lot more easier to defend with 5 people because of the enclosure of the way the entire base is built, because you got like this thick wall that you have to pass through and this narrow space. Kitty might be in a bit of trouble though. Does he have flash available? No, he does not. One more attack, shut down onto Kitty. So and this is what LowLandLions have to be careful for, that we might have the same situation as the previous time where the team thought that they were ahead, but it was only the Graves that did all the carrying. Knight going in a good chunk of damage onto Raika with the simple combo there. Oh, nice lockup onto Stefan Lenny picking up 1 kill. The Wombo combo, triple kill for Lissandra. Can't she make it a quadra kill? Though no, because she has left the building. She's like, no, I'm just happy with my triple. Let the rest of the team share in the wealth. Heiza being leashed like a fish on a hook, or a catfish on a hook, and sunk in, filleted, and shot down.
And another kill pickup for Rayu as well. Like in a bottom lane where Alistair was stuck in the base, still got to scavenge from that kill. Only 2 kill Corki. These will happen on the 24th, but will it be enough? It's so early, and now Chain comes out.
Chain as well. Sigma will pick up that kill with the end of the line return damage. That skill is so ridiculous. Like, it doesn't even look like a basic skill. It really rather looks like an ultimate.
It is like 160% 80 scaling, if I'm not mistaken. Just from both ways.
Let's take a quick look. He's at 190 now, so it's about 200. It's not. It's I think it's on total. It's actually, you might be right. I'm not
he doesn't have that much AD yet. He only is sitting on the warrior enchantment and the hex drinker, a little bit from that serrated serrated dirk. But like later the game goes, it will just get like out of control. There's no counterplay in the first place to such a luck up
flashing, a nice chomp by Heiza, bringing his Lux to safety, but We Will Failers picks up that kill. Regardless, still Lenny in a fight with Raiju. Raiju being frozen and his machine breaking because of the frost. Corki did not put snow tires on his mobile.
Does he even have wheels?
He does on Toboggan Corki.
Does he though?
Sort of.
Maybe.
He would have survived that if he was Toboggan Corki. It gives like +10 resistance to Frillure champions.
I see. So that's his advantage, yeah?
Yeah.
The secret threat.
Yeah.
The Doc X.
Season 6 secrets. GG.docx. The Dunzo
Manifesto. The package.
Package coming in, but not hitting too much. Flashes left and right as Sigma tries to fight them all as the last man standing. Force the flash away. Nice flash on the Tempest though. True Shot Barrage hitting 4 people. Knight's clone being hit and fading away into nothingness. Raiju with a flash into nothing to only his death really. Kitty now trying to kite as much as possible. Misses the Q onto Stephanie Yost, though gets a Q proc on towards Heiza. Mech Reflex really wants to get in on this one, but will go down, as well as a teleport from Lenny joining the team will come in. Stephanie Yost, that Q just doing so much damage. Trying to get something with the final spark, but nothing available. Knock up Hove combo landed by the Alistar, and that's gonna at least be an inhibitor tower at this point.
Yeah, they must have this inhibitor. as well, because like Graves chunks down turrets quite quickly. The closer you stay, the more damage you do. It even works on structures, and this is Graves being so far ahead, and with so much lockup in your team composition, there is pretty much nothing you can do.
I don't think they're actually going to go for Nexus Towers, though. Well, actually, they might if Raika goes down. Ultimate being used, maybe a little bit wasted on him as Mech Reflex is still in the middle of it all, but will go. Now Sigma goes unstoppable, one more hit, gets a double kill. Can he get a triple off of anything? Kitty showing off his colors there, and that's going to be the first Nexus turret potentially being taken down. No, never mind, the minions are spawning. Sigma does get his Hex Drinker pop, though a little bit caught out. Situation gets knocked up, will survive. One more hit should be enough. Dashes away. We will Failers with a great headbutt to knock Lux away. Kitty now facing off against Heiza. Heiza popping the thick skin, gets the shutdown though from the Devourer, and overall a 2-for-1 so far, but their base is not completely in shambles just yet as Poppy comes in with the teleport. Mech Reflex lands the dash on the wall, gets the shutdown. Mech Reflex says, get out of here with the hammer, but actually does cancel it. We will Failers with a knockup onto 2, but is running out of mana slowly but surely, dodging the shots left and right. Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike will land. Next target is going to be Knight. Knight forced to dash away. Sigma popping the Yomu's Ghost Whip, but can't get an end of the line damage off properly. Collateral damage coming across, but not hitting anything, but Mech Reflex going in and dying in vain.
It just basically feels like spawn killing right now. Like, people...
Oh, wow.
People just spawn and go on the map and see if they can get a kill. So maybe it's like deathmatch mode.
The super minion booped Raichu when he was
Really?
pathing. Yeah, and that gave Sigma the kill.
Wow.
Like Sigma was, or Raichu was completely safe for a few seconds, and he flew past the minion line, and the super minion aggroed on him and just punched him dead.
Oh, apparently also there was also missed shield. I already see some banter coming in here from the old chat I have on my screen. Apparently Ray asked for like a shield because the super minion was indeed attacking him, but then Stephanie missed the shield of Lux.
Kitty down in 1v1 versus Raichu with Stephanie Yosen on the backside. Joining in, Frozen Fist procs do land over and over. Now Lenny coming in, trying to get a kill onto Heiza. Heiza still with that thick skin though, pops the base of the mountain first, but can't even pop his thick skin there. Kitty now still kiting. True Shot Barrage coming across, does a lot of damage. Sonic Wave is down, the Tempest is up though, and so far that's a 1-for-1. Lux picking up that kill.
Oh, minions
chasing. Nah, he's already healing up.
Yeah,
Biscuit.
he has the 2 potions, but there's Graves, and goes for the collateral damage.
Collateral damage will pick that up. Lenny and We Will Fade are trying to pick down the tower, and Lenny actually surprisingly decent at taking down tower since she does have that Frost Queen's claim. Entomb landing on to Lux. Lux absolutely destroyed here. Knock up onto 2. Heiza and Mech Reflex. Mech Reflex in the middle of the fight. Heiza being pumped out. That's going to be a double kill for LeBlanc. Can it be a triple kill? No, it cannot. As Sigma pops that kill. Legendary. Red turret destroyed. 25 seconds until Heiza's back. 17 for Stephanie Yost. 25 for Poppy. This looks to be a sub 22-minute victory for the LowLandLions unless SectorOne can do anything about it. Yomu's Ghostblade is being popped just to take that bottom inhibitor down. Sigma goes legendary in the meantime as well. The Superman's still hammering away onto the Nexus Tower. Who will get the last hit? It is Sigma with the buckshot, and that is going to be GG to LowLandLions.
What can I say?
You can say a lot.
I can say a lot indeed. I think this is like well capitalization of the Graves jungle pick. That's pretty much it. And sadly, it was also Raika tried to go for level 2 gank in the mid lane. This after the red buff actually hurt his jungle pathing a lot, where Sigma could just like basically farm up to his second buff. Just go mid lane, go for the counter gank, and then get a double kill, and basically snowballed out of control. Went like full counter jungle mode. There was nothing that Raika could do, because also it left up the 3 buff for Graves. So he got a lot of XP, a lot of gold, and basically nothing to be done. And with so much luck up, like, you stand really, really low chance.
Yeah, pretty much a damage that spiral out of control, but this time done right with the lead. they got. I think that pretty much summarizes the entire game.
Pretty much.
So with that said, we are going to take a very small break until the next game, which is probably still going to be a winner bracket game. As far as I can see, some people have made it towards the third round of winner bracket, so probably going to be taking that one. I want to give a quick shout out to GamersHub over there for organizing the stream, Fragmatic for hosting us, and of course our wonderful sponsors, Razer, the grand prize sponsor for this competition, and of course Species.be, ISO, and of course that which you also cannot see, Aver Media, which is in our PCs helping us to bring you this awesome content. I'm Matt Spellruler, Tosiek, co-casting with me is Fayan, Gevous, Pertijs, and we'll be right back with you.
See you soon.